Danny Arnold, Alan Hunt, Paul Newlove and Anthony Sullivan, their three quarters. Sean Long and Scott Barrow, a young 17-year-old, comes in at scrum half. Up front, it's Andy Leatham, Kieran Cunningham and Julian O'Neill, Chris Joint and Vila Matautia, with Carl Hammond at loose forward, which now really is his favoured position. And on the bench, Joey Hayes, we get our first glimpse of him this year, Ian Pickavance, Chris Morley and Paul Anderson. Coach is Sean McRae. Now the Bradford Bulls, they have Stuart Spruce at fullback, Matt Callan, Danny Peacock, Paul Loughlin and Andy Hodgson. Graham Bradley's the captain in place of the injured Robbie Paul, and Glenn Tomlinson's the scrum half. Up front it's Tahi Rihana, James Lowes, Brian McDermott, Mike Forshaw and Bernard Dwyer. Steve McNamara is the loose forward. And on the bench, Nathan Graham, Sonny Nicol, one of three former St Helens players in this Bradford squad, Warren Jowett and Paul Anderson. The coach is Matthew Elliott. And there is the Bradford Bulls coach in his first season as head coach at Hodsall, and on the way to winning their first championship since 1981. And this is the team that he has prepared for this, the latest battle. Remember, they've won 15 at the top of the table, a 100% record, and a lot of people now are tipping Bradford to go right the way through the season without being toppled. They have 7 games to go. This one, then Salford, Leeds, Sheffield, Paris, Wigan at home, and then London away in their last match, if they are to become the first team to go through a season with a 100% record in the top flight. Out come the Bradford Bulls, the league leaders, to a marvellous reception from their fans. Night absolutely perfect for Super League, and it's an unblemished record for them this year. The first team to pass through the 500 points barrier. 6 tries against Castleford on Wednesday. It maintains their 6 try per game average in 1997. James Lowes is their top tackler, and Brian McDermott is the man who gets them rolling forward. Now the Saints, home team, they will emerge second. The championship for them, of course, is long gone, but they would love to just delay the celebrations at Bradford Bulls if they possibly can. 5 defeats for this team in 1997. That's why they no longer feature in the championship race. 5th coming into this match. And led out by Chris Joint, who is the captain, while Bobby Goulding recovers from the hernia operation. And they too get a wonderful reception from their supporters in this shirt-sleeve crowd. Suddenly has summer arrived in Super League. It's a glorious evening. Well, goal kicking has been a problem. Evidence the Saints' defeat at Sheffield on Wednesday. They scored 3 tries to 2, but they lost 12-14. But they do come into this match knowing that they are Bradford's bogey side, and this game will test the theory about past results affecting current form. It's always a big night for Paul Newlove, formerly with Bradford. Then he made the expensive signing here for St Helens, and really all the success followed Paul Newlove. And up against tonight, one of the key men in Super League, Graham Bradley. He's having a wonderful season at Bradford, and he really is the man who directs the operations for the Bradford Bulls. Match referee is Stuart Cummings. He's checked with the touch judges. Everything's right. Pitch perfect, as it always is at Nosey Road. A real tribute to Neil Holding, their groundsman. And it's Saints against the Bradford Bulls, a repeat of Wembley and a repeat of that remarkable match at Hodsall just 8 days later, when Bradford inflicted defeat on St Helens, got ample revenge. From then, the Saints have never really come back to their true form. But this is a big test for them.
This perhaps is a night that their coach, Sean McRae, wants them to really hit top form. And is looking towards the 2 big centres, Alan Hunt and Paul Newlove, to lead the way.
Vila Matautia is still in this St Helens side, even though he was sent off last week. He was proved that sending off sufficient by the disciplinary committee, cleared to play, and St Helens delighted that he is. This now is Sean Long operating at standoff half this evening. Good kick downfield, and Stuart Spruce is going to have to run this ball back into the field of play, and he manages to get the ball back despite the attentions of Cunningham and Sullivan.
Good kick and chase. Sean Long in his custom position at standoff. It was a beautiful kick, and they were down quick, and it's good defence there. They're on fire at the moment of the Saints.
This now is Brian McDermott, the Bradford Bulls prop forward. Lovely ball round the corner to Rihanna. He manages to hang on. 3 tackles gone. Good defence though from St Helens. There's the key man Bradley, and Saints know all about him. Lowes was the dummy half. Bernard Dwyer, former Saint, brilliant run. Takes the Bulls to 10 metres inside the St Helens half of the field.
Really came onto that ball at full power there.
McNamara hoists the midfield bomb. The sun's going to be a problem here for everybody except Anthony Sullivan. The Welsh international claimed that magnificently.
Tremendous take by the winger there. You could see that Danny Peacock was charging down. Eyes on the football at all time. Pretty fast defence though from Bradford. You can see they really are springing out of the trap.
Here's Matautia now. Stands, unloads the ball to Cunningham. Cunningham though loses it, and Bradford have it back. This is Bradley. Peacock. Peacock steps inside Newlove. He's got support from Callan. It was a good job that Sean Long was there to halt the progress. This now is Forshaw. Into Lowes, on to Tomlinson. The runner is McDermott. Straight up the middle. Support arrives. Lowes is there, and St Helens somehow keep him out. Forshaw waiting. The ball though chipped through for Bradley, who gathers it but falls and has to take the tackle.
Nice option with a little kick there, but it wasn't far enough.
Lowes is confident on his own. I think he's got the try. He has. He fooled everyone then, James Lowes. There was a big dummy runner on his inside. I think it was Rihanna who distracted the St Helens defence, and Lowes plundered one from dummy half.
Well, the little kick came first, and from this you can see it just wasn't far enough, but Bradley made short of possession, and from here you'll see the dummy runner and the effect it has on the Saints defence. Rihanna went out wide, and the hooker, well, a mistake. Cunningham tried to keep the ball alive. I'm not so sure that Rihanna didn't knock that ball out, not seen by the official Stuart Cummings. He threw the dummy. They thought the big prop forward, Rihanna, was going to get it, but he did well there, did the hooker.
So James Lowes with his 6th Super League try, with Andy Farrell and Mick Cassidy of Wigan. He hasn't missed a Super League game this past 2 seasons. McNamara now with the conversion attempt, and McNamara misses. Maybe let the crowd get to him. They were certainly doing their best to put him off, and put him off they did.
See Rihanna there, but the man circled, throws the dummy. 2 went for Rihanna, no one went for Lowes. You can see there, Newlove wasn't strong enough. Quick thinking there by the hooker. What a start for the Bulls.
Deep kick-off. Sullivan picks up behind his own try line and makes good progress. Almost got through. It was a great tackle from Lowes. And what's more, Lowes had a second snap at Sullivan there, but Stuart Cummings was looking the other way, checking the defensive line of the Bulls. He missed that. So the league leaders ahead. 4 points to nil here at Knowsley Road. Beaten were the Saints by Sheffield on Wednesday. Their 5th defeat in 15 in Super League. Now Sean Long and Paul Newlove. Watched closely by Peacock. Dumped to the ground.
Tremendous defence. Peacock committed himself into the big centre, Newlove.
That's out on the fall from Long. Kick from the outside of the boot. Saints claiming that actually it came off a Bradford ball.
Good work by Glenn Tomlinson, the little halfback. Applied the pressure. Sean Long, not the best kick at all, and that being on the last, it'll be the turnover.
Rihanna now. Head guard on, tackled by Julian O'Neill, who hasn't missed a match for St Helens. Now Dwyer.
Rihanna will have to be careful there. He never played that ball with his foot.
Getting ready for Australia, maybe. Bradley tops the ball back to Stuart Spruce, and Spruce takes the balls to the 20-metre line. Tomlinson at dummy half, he runs on the short side.
They've been caught to the second marker, Saints. They've got to smarten up in that department.
Lowe's again, here's Bradley. Bradley short ball to McDermott. Good defence this time from St Helens. Last tackle, they're 5 metres short with Tomlinson who dabs it through. Ball comes back to Forshaw. Forshaw releases the pass again to Bradley. Again he pops it forward, but that's better defence from St Helens this time, and they managed to keep the ball in the field of play. It was the number 17, Andy Leatham, who did the good work there in defence. Offside now, Bradford creeping up to play the ball.
Well, we said they were keen to get out of the trap. This was a little kick through from Bradley, and Leatham came to the rescue. He did well, did Leatham, to get into the field of play. There's the offside. You can see that at least 3. Rahana was leading the charge. Stuart Cummings already raising the arm. That'll relieve the pressure. But they are so quick, the Bradford Bulls in defence. They move up off that mark like lightning.
Cunningham releases the pass. Very quick around the play, the ball of the Bradford Bulls. O'Neill was trapped then. Here now is Sean Long, and he gives it to Joint. Joint gets the pass away. Andy Haig has chimed in. They pull back. Great run. He's got Long in support. Now has Long got the legs? He has. Sean Long gets over for the try. And St Helens' response to the early try from Lowe's is immediate. Long, a tremendous run. And he had the legs on Bernard Dwyer. He beat him to the line. It's his first in Super League. Sean Long.
Beautiful run by the fullback, Andy Haig. He swatted him well through. They kept it alive. See how they came back on the inside joint. It was standing still, but what wonderful footwork there from the fullback. He just left Rahana and McNamara for dead. A beautiful pass to this man. And Sean Long. Beautiful run, tremendous support play, but put it down to the skills of Andy Haig to get him into that position. Standing still, look at the step there. Rahana couldn't get to him, neither could McNamara. See how he committed the fullback, Stuart Spruce. Long, with legs equal to his name, gets the first try for the Saints.
And now Sean Long, who has kicked 12 goals since his move from Widnes, but he didn't manage to kick a single goal at Sheffield. Now he gets the opportunity to make his 4-6. He hits the post. It looks like the goal-kicking blight has hit both sides. 4-all.
See how the defence fails to mill in. They've got to fill in that gap, and once he did the step, he was away. McNamara couldn't get to him. And the fullback committed, Stuart Spruce, left an open run for this guy.
4-all though, 9 minutes gone, St Helens restart, and it's worth noting that since retaining the cup against Bradford at Wembley on May the 3rd, they've won just 2 out of their 10 games played, hardly the form of champions. But this is a match that they are very much up for. Witness the tackling there from Matautia and Cunningham.
It was a great fight back there. Bradford getting off to that flying start, but tremendous skills there from the full-back.
McNamara well tackled in the end by Chris Joint. This is Lowe's. And Lowe's, as he falls, he just gets the pass to McNamara, who dabs the ball through looking for Callan, but the pace of the ball beats Callan.
Great option there by the loose forward, Steve McNamara. You could see that Sullivan had come in off the field, and it was an open run there. Andy Haig just had it covered. Quick thinking by McNamara. He started the move in the first place with a neat pass.
Here's Andy Haig again, whose run set up that try, and look at that defence. They're just dragging him back towards the posts. Tremendous defence from Bradford. They have such strength. They're all big men, the Bradford Bulls. And that was really evident there, wasn't it?
Tremendous stuff there from the skipper, Graham Bradley, and the full-back, Stuart Spruce. That just shows you how eager they are. Look at Bradford's offloads, 8. and it's mainly in and around the play the ball area. They're running wide and bringing it back on the inside, and the Saints' second markers are not tightening up.
Danny Arnold.
Oh, that was a bit late there. Lachlan, very late indeed. That surely should have been a flop.
Scott Barrow with the kick downfield. Now Stuart Spruce. Barrow's chased his own kick, gets a good tackle in as well.
There you see, Lachlan came in right over the top. That should have been a penalty. The tackle was already completed. And it's those sort of incidents in a very fiery game like this that can really stir up the players.
Oh, McDermott nearly went without it. This is Lowe's. He gets the ball away to Rihanna.
Again, we see they're working very close to the play the ball area. And the second marker for St. Helens is just not working.
Rihanna again, he's stripped off the head guard. It's very warm out there. Probably the warmest evening we've had in Super League thus far in the summer of '97. I heard so many of you say, what summer? The ball bounces for Calland, who flicks the ball back in field, but only into the arms of Mueller.
Well, it was a nice big kick by the loose forward, Steve McNamara. Calland did well to get to it, but when he flipped it back, the big frame, Paul Newlove, came to the rescue. But this Bradford defence is so quick.
Penalty to St. Helens. Ball stolen in a two-man tackle.
Tomlinson, the culprit. There you see Tomlinson and the hooker James Lowe's 2-on-1. You cannot steal the ball. 1-on-1 is okay.
This is O'Neill. Now, you know, of course, that you are the judge for our Man of the Match award tonight, so that's the telephone number that we will ask you to ring during the course of the second half. Keep your eyes peeled for the outstanding performance from a player in this match. Cast your vote and you could be a winner with us tonight on the Super League. Mini TV set to the successful viewer and to the man of the match. Sean Long. Chris Joint went without the ball.
He should have been the dummy runner. Sean Long threw the dummy and then decided just to give him it at the last moment. He'd already gone through the gap.
Bernard Dwyer hacked forward by Sullivan, but Peacock did well. It's 6 to go for Bradford.
Sullivan did get a boot to that. Really should have been better served by dropping on the football.
Tackle count wiped down by referee Stuart Cummings. This is Graham Bradley. Great strength from Bradley. And he tried to get up and make some extra meters, and he's penalised. Bradley doesn't like the decision.
Well, the tackle was completed and he went another yard. Well, the referee won't like that. The ball appeared and hit the official on the back of the head. I won't say who threw it.
This is O'Neill, tackled by Mike Forshaw. Cunningham is in at dummy half. This is Barrow. He helps it on to Long. Long then to Leatham.
Tempers are fraying out there. There's a lot of talk going on between these players. It could very well explode.
Barrow to Long, and Barrow takes over again. This is Mueller. Good tackling by Peacock though, and he's dragged into touch. Peacock and Calland. Terrific defence.
Talk about being wound up. Danny Peacock. Look at those legs pumping, and then let's get him over the whitewash. Well, he's a strong centre, is Paul Newlove, and Danny Peacock threw him around like a rag doll.
Yes, he felt that, Newlove. Super defence. Here's Rihanna. Steve-O, we know, of course, now that the voting in the Player of the Month has gone to Tony Smith. Bradford Bulls have led the table from start to finish. They now have a penalty for offside. But the one thing they've not received is a Man of the Month award. It might just be the fact that Bradford are such an outstanding all-round team.
Well, I'm sure that they won't be worried about that. It's not that sort of gong that they're after. They want the Super League title. That's the only thing on their mind.
Knock on.
Good
McDermott driving the ball in and lost it.
Solid defence. He tried to get the ball away in an impossible situation. Well, that will not please their coach, Matthew Elliott.
That will, though. Good chase from Stuart Spruce. Bringing Danny Arnold to the ground. Arnold and Bradley entangled. There is the Bradford coach trying to crown his first year's senior coaching with the Super League crown.
They're fired up. You could see there Steve McNamara. Oh, good run.
Cunningham looks over the shoulder. Support arrives. O'Neill.
Too late, though. The half break was made. They've got to support him more than that.
Long went to give it to Matautia, but Matautia was the dummy runner, but he was, I'm afraid, used as the shepherd. The ball never went.
As soon as he went round the back of him, and as soon as Matautia took the man out there, which was Dwyer and Tomlinson, well, a silly mistake.
McDermott now.
Ooh, that looked a bit high too.
McNamara to Rihanna. Into the 20-metre zone go the Bradford Bulls. The danger zone. The red zone. Tomlinson. Back to Lowe's. To Forshaw. Outstanding start to Mike Forshaw's career at Bradford. He is Lowe's. Attacking them again, Lowe's. He stole the first try from dummy half.
Again, we see the second marker not working for Saints.
Peacock, fed by Bradley. The marker was working then. Haig and Newlove bring him down. Lowe's to Tomlinson.
Knock on.
Play on, says Stuart Cummings.
Advantage.
I don't think the first was, Steve-O, but certainly when he missed it the second time, that was the knock on. You were right. He didn't give it, though. He's given a penalty now.
That was the second one. Definitely went forward. Good refereeing, though, by Stuart Cummings. He wanted to see if they could give him the advantage. It wasn't forthcoming. That's why he did eventually give him the football. Good run, though, by Alan Hunt.
Quick tap penalty from Hunt. This is Long. Now Cunningham and Hunt.
Well, they're keeping this ball alive, Saints, but they're not running onto the football. You can see that 3 or 4 occasions, every time the man receiving the football, they stood still.
Cunningham trying to dance his way through and does so.
Great work. Now they've got to get it out wide. But Bradford are very good. They're turning the Saints players on their back.
Long. The short ball bounced off the chest of Joint, and he wasn't too happy with his young standoff. Now Spruce. They're clutching at Spruce, and in the end, they get him down, courtesy of Hunt.
Well, the short ball is not just coming off for them at the moment. Long tried to delay it as long as he could there, but I'm afraid the skipper, Chris Joint, made a real meal of it. Too many mistakes, I'm afraid, from the Saints at the moment.
Dwyer. Up the middle, of course, Bernard Dwyer against his former club. So too is Paul Loughlin out there, and Sonny Nicol on the bench. Bradley. Long had hold of his ankles. He fed Tomlinson. Good job that Scott Barrow got there, because by the time the reinforcements arrived in the shape of O'Neill, the tackle was completed. Now it's with Sullivan. Sullivan, though, is heading for the corner, but the referee has given Bradford a penalty. It's no try. St Helens are celebrating, but Stuart Cummings is stood at the other end of the field like a statue, and he's given the penalty to Bradford Bulls. Offside is the decision.
You can go back the full 10, and you could see that when he ran on, he'd never made any attempt to go back the 10, according to the referee Cummings. Crowd don't like it. He's got a smile on his face, but I tell you, so's Robbie Paul, thankfully.
Yeah, Robbie Paul with the arm in plaster. He has broken a thumb, and Anthony Sullivan has at the moment got a broken heart, courtesy of Stuart Cummings. The whistle sounded, and Cummings just stood there while Sullivan ran 100 metres up the other end of the field.
Well, it's a good effort. You can see how he went in and out and made Stuart Spruce come to him.
Back 10 metres.
And you could hear the referee Stuart Cummings quite clear there, saying you did not go back the required 10 metres. Well, a real let-off there. But I know one thing, Eddie. This Saints defence have got to try to shut this guy down, this hooker. James Lowes is just cutting them to ribbons.
Lowes again to McDermott. He releases the pass to Tomlinson. Tomlinson tried to kick the ball through. This now is Dwyer. Brian McDermott. Nowhere to go. St Helens have surrounded him. And what's more, are pushing McDermott back. That's good defence from the champions. Here's Lowes again. Now Tomlinson. He finds Bradley. That was also a dummy runner that interfered with the defence. And Callan is not happy with the decision, but the referee right, and what's more, consistent.
I'm not so sure. You've got to let the man go in front of you or use him as a shield, and he didn't. He didn't go round him. Well, Peacock's gone through, but if it's a dummy runner... Now, does Peacock make contact? Well, they stop there. That's not a shepherd for mine, and I think the referee's made a mistake. You have to make sure that the man goes in front of you, that you use as the shepherd, and that uses a dummy. He did not, and that is why Graham Bradley was saying more than a few words to the official.
Barrow to Long, and this is Hammond. Tomlinson with the tackle. Long again. The young Scott Barrow is getting more and more involved in this match. I know he was very nervous about being named by Sean McRae. This is Matautia now. Last tackle for St Helens. Long will hoist the kick. Diagonal.
A wasted kick, though.
Well picked up by Hodgson. Andy Hodgson picks up pace. This is quite a prospect. Collared by Newlove.
Tremendous play by the young winger. Hodgson, the kick was far too deep, and you could see that the Saints were not chasing. A missed tackle also adding to their problem. But look how easy Bradford are getting over that advantage line. Sean McRae has to get the message out. Come on, lads, work.
Lovely movement by Tomlinson, who finds Dwyer, and O'Neill is the man who gets the tackle in. Saints have missed 8 tackles to Bradford's 3. The pass unloaded to McDermott. Back on the inside to McNamara. This is Tomlinson. He gets the pass out wide. Hodgson, and Hodgson gets the try. Wonderful approach work from Bradford, and they stretch St Helens out wide. And Andy Hodgson, he's played the last 4 on the wing. He got his first try against Leeds last weekend. He's followed it up. That's his second.
It's only a matter of time. Look at the latitude that they're allowing around the play the ball area. Lachlan just strolled 10 metres forward. McDermott back on the inside. And then when the loose forward McNamara, let's send it out wide. Tomlinson feeds the winger. It was only a matter of time. They just kept it alive, and I'm afraid this Saints defence is completely shot to pieces. Alan Hunt committed himself, and soon as the winger Arnold came to the little halfback Tomlinson, full credit to this kid, in and out, great winger's try there, nothing the fullback Hay could do.
Well, he set off on a wonderful run from the kick, wasn't it, downfield at the other end, and started that attack, which has ended with him scoring the try. Hodgson. McNamara tried to improve it, failing this time from the touchline. So it's 2 tries to 1, 8 points to 4, no goals yet.
If you allow the defence to let him run, look at this, it's ridiculous. No working in the second marker, and it sucked in the defence there. There were 5 players sucked into one area. That's why they were committed out wide. And when Tomlinson feeds the youngster, still had to be scored. It was a fine try.
That's Scott Barrow. Matthew Elliott has made the change, or one change, and Paul Anderson, number 17, there he is, has come on, and Tahi Rihana is the man who has been withdrawn. So the Bradford coach maintaining this plan that he's had from the start of the season in rotating his prop forwards in spells of 20-25 minutes, and having the ammunition, of course, to do it with men like Anderson on the bench. Long, left-footed over the top.
Better kick from Long there. You could see he turned the fullback Stuart Spruce around. And on this occasion, the chase is good. It wasn't
work
before that allowed the winger Andy Hodgson a lot of latitude to get into the half.
Calland was tackled then by Newlove. This now is Danny Peacock. Quick play the ball as the feature of this Bradford attack, and runs like that from Anderson. The fresh legs just on.
Well, they're like a juggernaut at the moment. Bradford getting over that advantage line. Quick play the ball, as Eddie mentioned. They want to get on with it. And when Bradford are doing the tackling, notice how they're turning the St. Helens player on his back. That gives them time to get their defence set.
McNamara to Tomlinson. Dabs the ball through. Sullivan went for it. Knock on both ways. Referee will bring Scott Barrow back. He'll play the first. And the crowd are baying. But there's nothing that Stuart Cummings could do about that. It was one way and then the other.
Sullivan was deemed to be the first knock on, and that's why he allowed the advantage. See, Sullivan, even though it didn't touch the ground, it was deemed to be knocked forward.
Tomlinson had peeled away after feeding that scrum. This now is Spruce. He gets away from Long and he bounces away also off Andy Haig, and they can't put Spruce down. What a run. This is Lowe's. Eventually he is wrestled to the ground.
The reason why they couldn't put him down is because they're going far too high.
Anderson now.
Someone's got to go low for the legs.
Lowe's again. Back to Tomlinson. Here's McNamara. Now Bradley. They've got men out wide. Callan's one of them. And Callan bamboozles in his way to the line. Barges his way over for the third Bradford try. Great strength from Matt Callan. Epitomising really the way Bradford Bulls play this game. Strength and vim and vigour.
All came about by good work from the forwards. Anderson put him in this position with a good long run. They kept it alive. McNamara, neat little pass there. See how he committed Newlove. And the big frame of Graham Bradley sends over Callan. Again, Lowe's is just mesmerising this Saints defence. Once he committed him there, it was always a matter of time yet again. Nothing's going to stop the big man, Callan.
Matt Callan, not a bad record here at Nosey Road for him. And the first successful kick of the evening for Steve McNamara, and the league leaders have a 10-point lead.
Look at the defence. Some are up, some are back, some are holding on. Ridiculous. This really is poor defence from the Saints. Don't take anything away from the Bradford performance either, but they've got to shut this hooker down, James Lowe's. He's having the time of his life out there.
Barrow fields the kick-off and then gives it to his captain Joint, who disappears. Runs from dummy half average in a match for James Lowe's 7. He's already up to 5, and we haven't even had half an hour of this game yet. He's having a field day.
Has such an influence, doesn't he? But they're allowing him far too much latitude. It just shows you that if your second markers don't work too hard, you're going to be on the receiving end of a big score. And Bradford are looking very confident at the moment.
Chris Joint, 10 metres inside his own half. Long, this was the last tackle. That's why Long has pumped the kick downfield, but that's going to just skip its way over the dead ball line.
Well, he's not on form today. Not the best kick, far too long. You can see he's already done 5 on an average of 8 through the games previous. And that just shows you really the frustration that Saints have of not being able to make the break, apart from the score from Long, which was made by Andy Haig. Other than that, Saints have found it difficult to breach the Bulls' defence.
Lowe's to Tomlinson and Bradley. Look at the clean breaks. Bradford are already into double figures. They're carving through the St Helens defence, but not on that occasion.
Well, not the best pass there from Dwyer, but the young winger Hodgson did well then to take that football.
They spin in the tackle, Bradford, and they look for the supporters behind them, and they're there. And this is Spruce.
Again, they're going far too high.
Lovely ball from Spruce to Peacock, and he gives it to Calland, and Calland again, using himself as a human battering ram to get through the St Helens defenders. This is McNamara, up goes the kick, big space out there, Arnold's after it, and Arnold gets it, but immediately Arnold is bundled over the try line, but the referee said he was in the field of play when the tackle was completed.
Good kick and chase though, wasn't it? Good positioning by the winger Arnold, but that is tremendous teamwork. Loughlin and Dwyer, both former Saints players. They know every blade of grass out here, and they're wanting to run all over it today.
Well, you're right, Paul Loughlin most certainly will. He was on the ground staff here at St Helens once in a while. But Bradford are offside.
Plenty to choose from there at the official comings. But they are so keen. They're fired up for this one. They were so disappointing against the southern team from down under. But they are making the name in the European Super League. And a tremendous effort so far.
Hey, you see them playing like this, and you wonder why they didn't do much better against the teams from the south than they did. Having said that, they got as close as anybody without actually winning a match. That ball has come free, and the referee says play on.
Well, it was 1-on-1, or was it? Tomlinson was in there. Could have been a penalty either way, but it's aggressive defence from the Bulls, and Saints have got to sort something out. Maybe the chip over the top, even the inside pass, they're not being sucked in at all.
Cunningham to Julian O'Neill. O'Neill trundles St Helens to within 13 metres of the line. 3 tackles gone. This is Barrow. He gives it to Hammond. Hammond tries to get the pass away and does, and Andy Hay got a fingertip to that, knocked it back. Bernard Dwyer picks up the loose ball. It would have been a knock-on anyway.
Again, they're going far too high. This is the incident. Hammond tried to get the football away. It wasn't taken out by one of those 2 men in defence. Things not going right for Hammond and the Saints at the moment.
Bradley breaks through one tackle again. What a run from Bradley. Support arrives from Lowe's inevitably. And Lowe's takes on Sullivan, and Sullivan eventually collars him.
Well, when are they going to realise, Saints, that you've got to go for the legs? Graham Bradley playing at standoff. He acts as an extra forward out there. It's as though you've got 7 forwards working.
Loughlin from dummy half fancies one on his own. Paul Loughlin just held up. This is the last tackle. They're so close to trying to plunder another from dummy half. This time, though, the defence is sound, and McDermott couldn't get the ball down.
Power play there by the big prop forward, Brian McDermott. Thought he could get over, but good solid defence this time from Saints.
Another crunching tackle from this Bradford Bulls defence on Danny Arnold.
There you see how they turn him on his back. That just gives him that split second. Spin him again. It's the split second that gives you a chance to get your defence back.
Graham Bradley of this Bradford Bulls side. I wonder if there is a more influential figure at the moment running around the Super League.
Well, he's just swatting them off like flies.
That's a lovely ball. This is Barrow. The young Barrow's on his own. He's got Hammond in support. He's there to take the pass. Gets it out wide to Arnold, and Arnold will score. I think Scott Barrow was amazed to find himself in so much space, but he had the presence of mind to hang on and wait for the support to arrive. It did, and then Saints fed the ball out wide via Barrow again to Danny Arnold, and Arnold comes up with the try.
Didn't they need it? It was a beautiful pass from Carl Hammond. Just threw the little dummy and then just fed it to the young kid. And look at Scott Barrow go. Good presence of mind. They came across, good work by Hodgson there, but he hung around, got the ball out wide. He didn't think of going on his own. Arnold did well, but look at this superb pass. See how he sucked in the loose forward, Steve McNamara. Good work, as I said, from Hodgson, but Barrow was not going to be outdone. He wanted to commit the man, he does. He knows that this fella's got tons of speed. And Danny Arnold, what a time to score the try. They needed that one desperately.
His 60th appearance today for Danny Arnold. 45 tries. Before that one, that's 46 now. Terrific strike rate. Long with the conversion. Off the crossbar. How close can you get? 14 points to 8. The Bulls lead.
There you see Carl Hammond, he'll suck in McNamara, and it's a superbly timed pass. Bang goes the youngster. And Barrow really did show a lot of experience there. Calm, cool and collected. Nothing that Spruce could do about it.
So the Saints restart, and we've got 4 minutes to go to half-time. Bernard Dwyer has been withdrawn by Bradford, and Sonny Nicol comes back to Knowsley Road. Nicol, 4 years here, 117 appearances. Look out for him, he's the number 13 in the Bradford jersey, and there he is. "30 metres from his own line, plays the ball to Lowes inevitably, and Lowes will take them on again. Well, it's a good contest. St Helens, their crown has slipped a little this year, but they are performing here like champions against the champions-elect, and Bradley making a few more vital meters before taking that tackle. McNamara dabs the kick through, the chasers are after it. Callan, that's good defence though. Tremendous defence there, and he put his body on the line, did young Scott Barrow.
Good sweeping work there by the little half-back Barrow. It was a beautifully timed kick, but he was equal to the task, playing in the sweeping role, a little half-back.
Took a bang by the looks of things, but receiving some treatment from the magic sponge, and he's back in the line now as Alan Hunt goes on this run. Oh, he lost it then, Hunt.
Well, he's complaining that he was interfered with, trying to get up and play the football. But he just knocked it on. Simple.
There were hands on him. There were two hands on him.
Little doubt about that. He was being pushed all over the place by Paul Loughlin. Not a happy bunny, Alan Hunt.
It means that Bradford have the possession again, and midway inside the St Helens half of the field with Sonny Nicol. It was the 6th St Helens handling error. 2 minutes to go to half-time. This is a big 2 minutes for the St Helens defence. Can they hold out against this pressure?
Look slightly forward there to Forshaw.
The St Helens crowd agreed with you too. This is Anderson.
That makes a change.
3 tackles gone. Lowes at dummy half, had a little glance this way, then went down the blind side. Lowes! Brilliant try! That's the second try for James Lowes. The referee wants to check via the video ref.
Did he lose the ball behind the tackle?
And
let's have a look at the play, the ball.
He wants the video ref just to take a look and see whether the ball was lost in the tackle before this play the ball. There's nothing wrong with that.
Seems all right. What is wrong is the defence. Again, poor work from the second marker.
This is what he wants to see.
Kept hold of it. It was rolling around on his chest, but he still keeps hold of it.
Oh, now then.
Did he lose it? But he regained it.
Well, that's well. Cunningham is appealing that the ball was lost.
Yeah, but he caught it again. Was it taken out? Was there fingers in it? Was Cunningham's fingers on it? Julian O'Neill's in there, his fingers, and he's still Cradle in it, so I try for mine.
And try also for the video ref. Try is given. James Lowe's is second. Well, he plundered one from a couple of metres out, the first try of the match for him. And how about this for the second? What an effort this is.
Well, he's just been cutting them to ribbons. Look at that. The two markers went the same way. He said, I'm off. He's just having the time of his life. He's a tremendous player, quick thinker. His second try of the game.
Well, at that play the ball, he had a little look this way and saw that that was where all the cover was, so thought he'd have a dash round the blind side. And McNamara adds the extra two, and right on the stroke of half-time, a vital try for James Lowe's, his second, and the second kick successful by Steve McNamara. The league leaders are ahead by 20 points to 8 at half-time. They've scored 4 tries to 2, and in this mood, Graham Bradley and the Bradford Bulls could quite easily go all the way through the season with this 100% record intact. Andy Haig and Scott Barrow on the way to the St Helens dressing room, where no doubt Sean McRae will try and pinpoint the area that the Saints can come back in this match. But James Lowe's is having a field day. 2 tries from him, the Bulls ahead at half-time.
It was a Lions tour which will go down in history.
A wonderful day for British rugby.
A series victory over world champion South Africa.
This is a truly great rugby achievement.
Now the English members of that squad move on to Australia for a one-off test against the Wallabies, aiming to complete a spectacular summer. Australia versus England next Saturday morning at 10:30, live on Sky Sports 2.
Sure, it upsets the neighbors because they can't play like me.
So how did it all go?
I'm afraid the board rejected your big idea.
What do you mean?
Calm down, John. They didn't like your idea. Better luck next time, mate. Something I said.
Thanks to its torsion beam suspension, the Rover 200 is the perfect car to unwind in.
I've had a better idea.
Something rather French is happening in California. Supervised by one of France's most experienced winemakers, grapes from the Napa Valley are being fermented and aged in the bottle in the méthode traditionnelle, resulting in a world-class sparkling wine, of which California and France can be truly proud. Cuvée Napa, Californian sparkling wine with a French accent.
Dying moment. One last attack. Shearer setting off through the centre. Long ball to Shearer. Shearer! An unbelievable goal!
Lucas Aid Sport is designed for top athletes. It delivers fluid and energy fast, so I'm always ahead of the game.
Do you know you can put your hair at risk every time you wash it? Surprised? Hair is most fragile when it's wet. Just combing can break it. Pantene Pro V can help. It actually makes hair stronger, so it breaks less. Provitamin B5 nourishes at the root and penetrates all the way to the tip. Pantene gives hair a healthy-looking shine and makes it stronger. Pantene Pro V, for hair that looks so healthy it shines. Stronger hair breaks less.
My wife said either her or the horse.
A preview of the Kleenex for Men Tissues movie presentation. Here, in the heart of the African jungle, we find that unique creature, Acius venturus, with its unusual mating call, expressive features which look almost human, and it has a fascinating ability to merge into the background. Oh no, looks like we've been spotted.
The premiere of Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, 8 o'clock Thursday on the Movie Channel.
A unique golf challenge on Sky Sports 1 next Sunday. The Duke of York and Nick Faldo represent England against Scotland's Colin Montgomery and Gavin Hastings. That's next Sunday at 1 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. Right now, we have St Helens against Bradford, the champions against the champions-elect. And their last win here for Bradford, November 1992. But at half-time, they are bang on course to pick up only their 6th win here since the war. St Helens 8, Bradford Bulls 20. That's the score here at sun-drenched Knowsley Road at half-time. And a really vigorous game, isn't it? It's a match full of excitement, full of fine play, full of wonderful tackles. Steve-O, it's Super League at its best, and Bradford Bulls, at the moment, they look like they might be worthy champions.
Well, we said that they were juggernauts, didn't we, in that first half, and they really did get involved very early on the piece. You could see that they were very quick to get back on the 10 metres, and they're doing a great ploy in turning the St Helens players onto their back so they can get their defence sorted out. It's been a great performance. Full credit, though, to St Helens to actually come back with 2 tries when really Bradford had full control of that game. But they've got to do something about stopping this James Lowes. He is just having the time of his life out there. I mean, being a former hooker, I have a smile as wide as Christmas Day because this kid is he's just enjoying himself. And I'm sure that Sean McRae will be saying to his players, if he hasn't got the tackle bags out now, he should, because they are just going far too high.
Yes, James Lowes has had a big influence on the first half, but Graham Bradley has also had an immense influence as well. And those two, between them, well, they're leading the way, aren't they?
They are. I mean, the combination, as we said in that first half, of having Graham Bradley playing standoff is like an extra forward. So they've got virtually 7 forwards out there, but they are helping him by going far too high. He's such a strong man. And we mentioned James Lowes because he was the man instrumental in the first try. And if you just move it on a little bit forward there, you'll see, hold it there, you'll see how Rahana is going to run as a dummy runner, and 2 go for him, and Lowes said, well, I'll throw a little dummy and go on my own. Again, you see, the second marker's not working in the St Helens defence. And full credit to Saints, as we mentioned, they did come back. Coming back on the angles, one of the few times that they did do the crisscross, got the angle there, but this was sheer skill by the fullback Andy Hay. That really was great stuff. Pass there to Sean Long, and he showed that he's got plenty of pace also. That was desperately against the run of play, and this was one that the crowd didn't like, I can assure you. But you can see quite clearly that they made no attempt to go back the 10. They played the advantage. If they would have scored here, then Bradford would have been given the try, but as it was, Sullivan thought he was away. The crowd thought it was, and I'm afraid it wasn't. Then Hodgson came in, one of the few areas where they came out and just run it on again, and you can see that they're getting so much work, but when they spin the ball back, just stop it there, and you can see the defence, and look out here. They're going to be left very, very short indeed, and that is what happened. They kept it alive, Tomlinson, and look how far wide Andy Hodgson stood. Still had to be scored. He went in and out. It was a fine winger's try. And then Callan, well, again, look, James Lowes went one way. No one laid a finger on him. Decided we'd go back to the blind. Beautiful pass there. See how Newler was committed to going to McNamara. And the big man, Bradley. No way stopping Callan from that close. This was a great break, though. It was a beautiful pass by Carl Hammond. It was a perfect time pass to the youngster, Scott Barrow, who has acquitted himself quite well for the 17-year-old. It's a big pressure game for him, involved in the move twice, and he did the right thing. Kept cool, calm and collected there, Arnold Thie. But then the man strikes again. Good, strong work from the big prop forward, Paul Anderson. And from here, just watch this. This is pretty to watch, apart from if you're a Saints fan or a Saints player or even a Saints coach, because Sean McRae will be absolutely livid over that defence. You could see that even the first and the second marker, they both went the same way. It is schoolboy stuff, I'm afraid, in the defensive department.
Well, St Helens often raise their game when they play the Bradford Bulls, and you can tell that from the record they've got here at Nosey Road, but they will really have to raise things in the second half, won't they, to get back into this now?
Well, I think up until Lowe scoring that try just before the half-time break, I think perhaps Sean McRae would say, well, at least I'm going to have a chance to talk to them, because they were still into that game, providing that they could have kept Lowe's out. I think it may be just a little bit the bridge too far in the second half, but who knows, anything can happen, and I'm sure that Sean McRae will be laying down the law and laying down the rules, saying you must tackle and you must work as a team, especially in and around the play the ball area. They just have cut them to riddance.
It's warm by the looks of things in the dressing room area here at Nosey Road, but Bradford, like any great side, have proved that you have got to go for the full 40 minutes in each half, and they scored that vital try right on the stroke of half-time. Now, I wonder if you have seen a contender for the man of the match. You have the say, of course, on Super League Live here on Sky. The number to ring is at the bottom of your screen. We'll ask you to do that during the course of the second half with about 20 minutes to go, and you could win the mini TV set. The mini TV set, of course, that the man of the match also goes home with tonight, as well as his video presentation of his man of the match performance. There are plenty of contenders out there, particularly in the Bradford Bulls jerseys. St Helens need a couple of contenders to emerge in this second half. A, if they're going to win the match, and B, if they're going to attract your vote. It's Saints against the Bulls. We have the second half. Can they come back?
The rush hour begins.
Just listen to that motor scream.
Fueled by instinct, driven by the need to win, the ultimate test for man and machine.
Oh, but it's Fogarty!
Britain's Carl Fogarty defends his lead in the title race, exclusively live from the Laguna Seca track in the United States.
He is determined to win here.
The World Superbike Championship next Sunday at 10:30 on Sky Sports 1.
Just for the of it, just for the of it, just for the and the of it, just for the juice of it, and why not? Just for the of it, just for the of it, just for the and the of it, just for the, do I say, just for the taste of it, Diet Coke.
If you suffered the pain of mild arthritis, nothing you can buy is more effective than Feldene P. Feldene P pinpoints and penetrates to power away the pain of mild arthritis. Nothing you can buy is more effective.
Okay, I want pastrami on Bavarian rye, sweet pickle, tomato. Easy on the Dijon, kosher dill and salt.
Excuse me, double decaf hazelnut latte, medium roasted Colombian beans, 2%.
Sirloin hoagie topping, jack cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, capers, and Russian dressing, fresh Parmesan and oregano to go.
The Chrysler Neon, built for the most demanding country in the world.
Don't pay £30 for travel insurance when you book your holiday. General Accident Direct could halve that to under £15, leaving you more money for those holiday essentials.
Why are they in such a hurry?
When the packages they carry could often be sent in seconds by ISDN.
Why do we use so much paper?
When the paperless office is quicker and more efficient.
And why do they do that every day?
When mobile manager systems could make the journey unnecessary. Why not change the way we work? For a guide to how you could take advantage of communications technology, call BT on 0800 800 800.
Tonight at 10, a brand new series like nothing you've ever seen before. only Sky One would dare to bring you
Look at it, lovely guys.
Ibiza Uncovered. You are the fly on the wall.
I find Turkey to me.
On the island that never sleeps.
Scored straight away.
Outrageous fun that never stops.
Come on!
Get ready to party hard. Ibiza Uncovered, the series premiere tonight at 10 on Sky One.
There's more international rugby coming your way next Saturday as England take on Australia live from Sydney. That's next Saturday morning at 10:30 on Sky Sports 2. Right now it's the Super League and it's St Helens against Bradford Bulls, and Bradford are ahead at half-time by 20 points to 6, maintaining this unbeaten run of theirs this season. They have yet to have their colours lowered in 1997, in the Super League that is. James Lowes is having a truly outstanding match. Average 30 tackles a game, already 18, and he's the top tackler for the match, James Lowes. And as if that isn't good enough, he normally averages 7 runs from dummy half. He has got 6 so far here, and that is also the highest number of runs from dummy half in the game so far. He is having a quite magnificent evening. He scored 2 tries, of course, and that's why Bradford are ahead by 20 points to 8 as we start the second half. St Helens then, the champions, attacking from left to right with the sun on their backs, and so surely the kicking game will come into operation because the sun will not lower behind the big stand here at Nosey Road until a good way into this second half. But it's Bradford who are in possession start of the second half. That's what Bradford's defence is looking at. The sun is still hanging above that big stand, away to our left and right behind the St Helens players.
And I suspect that Sean McRae, the Saints coach, would have said to them, you've got to pepper this winger, Andy Hodgson. It's the left wing. If they kick down there, it'll be very difficult for the youngster Hodgson in this strong sunlight.
Bradley plays the ball just on halfway. McNamara with the kick, and he grubbers the ball along the ground and finds touch. Intelligent play from McNamara.
Quick thinking by the loose forward there. And when you've got a good commanding lead at 20 points to 8, you just play the professional game, the percentage game. Second of the match.
Both sets of players taking the time to get to the scrum. It's St Helens' feed and it's Andy Haig with the possession, but look at the defence from Bradford, pushing Haig back to within a couple of metres of his own line. This now is Newlove. Big roar, of course, every time Newlove gets tackled. Former favourite at Odsal. They didn't like the fact that he left Odsal and came over here to Nosey Road, but that's life, as they say. And listen, every time he gets the ball, he's being booed, and every time he's tackled, the Bradford players are being roundly cheered. And the missed tackle, Steve-O, tell its own story, really. 21 to 7.
21 from Saints. It is not good reading. Beat for the players, the fans, or the coach. And that's a little bit too long.
Another booming kick downfield. Well, Sean Long didn't have his sights set in the first half and kept finding the dead ball line. He's done exactly the same with his second kick, his first kick rather, of this second half.
Interesting to notice there that on that first set of 6 in the second half that Saints had the football, every one of those tackles came about from either the first or second marker from the Bradford side. That's the difference between the two sides at the moment.
Anderson driving the ball over the halfway line, almost taking Andy Leatham's head with him. Tomlinson spins the ball back, and here goes Lowes again. Tomlinson to McNamara. McNamara to Bradley. It had to be a good tackle, and it was from Chris Joynt. Last tackle now for the Bradford Bulls. It's with Tomlinson. McNamara slides it through, side-footed. Haig comes across, cuts the danger out, and Haig does well.
Great positioning by the full-back, Andy Haig. But again, a fine little kick through. They apply the pressure all the time. Look at this defence there. Peacock, second marker, in again. This is a little kick from McNamara. Good work, though, by the full-back. It had to be, but the chase was great.
Andy Haig making a good fist of the full-back job. Steve Prescott, of course, is recovering from hernia operation. That's why Haig is getting his opportunity. Nicol all over Cunningham, gets the ball away to Sean Long, but there's nowhere that St Helens can go. The great defence has kept them just to around about 20 metres progress. The ball stands up nicely for Hodgson. Hodgson taking his time, taking the tackle then from Matautia. Spruce.
That's better from Matautia there. At least he's working. That's what was needed in the first half.
Bradley offloads the ball to McDermott. McDermott bounces through Cunningham. Can't get away from Alan Hunt, though. Lowe's. And this is Calland. And that's Paul Laughlin. Arnold going for a piggyback ride, but eventually having enough weight to bring him to ground. Lowe's dummy half again to Tomlinson. Here's McNamara. The runner was Forshaw. McNamara hangs on. Worth just mentioning, by the way, that McNamara now is through the 400-point mark for the Bradford Bulls. His first point tonight took him past that milestone. Anderson. Nicol, the referee says it went back. Play on. Great strength again from Nicol. Round the corner to Laughlin. Laughlin has got Callan, and this is another try. Try for Matt Callan. And St Helens, their supporters don't like the decision, but they do, the Bradford Bulls. And Callan, he gets the try, despite the fact that Sonny Nicol did fumble it in back play, but the referee said the ball went backwards, and so play on.
Wanted a knock on. Anderson, the big forward, gets it away. Went backward. That was okay. But there again, we see the Saints defence going high. Alan Hunt just committed himself, going high, was pushed away. They could get the ball free. Look at this, good work. Went backwards. But watch how they go high. He just shoves Alan Hunt off. You've got to make your tackle. They were queuing up in the end. Good support. 4, 5 players. That's a sin to go high on a big man like that. Laughlin did well, so did Callan. Good team effort yet again.
Callan now on 2 tries tonight. He got a hat-trick here last year when Bradford were beaten by St Helens at Knowsley Road. He's on course for another hat-trick now, and McNamara 2 from 4, and this kick makes it 3 from 5 and pushes Matthew Elliott's team even further ahead. 26 points to 8. A significant night maybe for the Bradford Bulls at a ground that has so far, during their history, not been terribly kind to them. Referee is just holding up the clock because there's a second football on, and Sean McRae, the St Helens coach, must be wondering what he can do now to stop the tide. Well, he's making 2 changes. Ian Pickavance and Chris Morley have been introduced.
Well, he's trying to inject some enthusiasm, especially in the defence, into the Saints outfit, who are just being blitzed by the Bulls at the moment. The way that the Bulls are turning in the tackle, and that are given plenty of opportunity to keep the ball alive.
Here's Pickavance. 25 offloads compared to 6 of St Helens. Cunningham, there's an offload though to Pickavance. Cunningham again, Long just drops the ball over the top, invites Anthony Sullivan to chase it, and Callan, he took the gamble, and he managed to extricate his legs out of the way of the ball, so it's going to be a tap on the 20-metre line.
Well, I can't understand why Sean Long is opting to go into the left wing when really, when the sun is in the eye of the left winger on the opposite side, that's on the right as you attack. You've got to utilise everything you've got to your advantage, and they're not doing that.
This is Anderson. Oh, shoulder to shoulder with Hammond. And then in the end, Hammond came back with Hunt to bring the big fella down. Lowe's, Lachlan. McNamara misses out one and finds Bradley. That ball went backwards, so Peacock is able to play on. It's the last tackle, though. That's better defence from St Helens on that set. And that was out on the fall, the kick.
Well, not normally a kicker. Found himself all on his own on the blind side. Thought I'll have a go. Just a little bit too long. They just lost their way a little bit there, did the Bulls.
So a chance here for St Helens. Alan Hunt. Oh, lovely pass. Out the back to Arnold. Good run from Arnold, good pass from Hunt. Here now is Pickavance. St Helens making progress here with Hammond, and now Long. Back to Hammond. Fires the pass out wide, but to nobody.
That just about sums their evening up. They were very flat to start with. Hammond tried the long ball out wide. And it went right across the face of all the players. Sort of a stunned silence from this big crowd here.
Sullivan had no chance to get to the pass. Carl Hammond, number 6 there in the St Helens jersey. He's had pneumonia this year, but he is only a shadow, Steve-O, of the player who had an outstanding 1996 and went on the tour to Fiji, Papua New Guinea and New Zealand in the winter.
Well, it takes a lot out of you, that is for sure. And it'll be a few weeks before he really does feel 100%. We know that Saints have gone through their problems with injuries and illness, of course. But it still does not take away the fact that they're not tackling out there. Again, Lowe's just running at random.
Yes, Saints have had their problems with injury, so have Bradford. And one of their injured stars is Robbie Paul. We've seen a few glimpses of him. Let's hear from him now. He's with Alistair.
A try either side of half-time. Does that make you feel a whole heap better?
Yeah, things are going to plan at the moment. I guess, things are going to plan because we're out in front. As long as we sit there, we'll be happy.
What has been particularly pleasing for you from watching on the sideline?
I think it's our go forward. You know, we're getting forward really well, and we've been able to come up with the sets that we want to. We've also forced St Helens into a few mistakes.
What about the fact that Saints, you may have thought, had a point to prove? Were you expecting a particularly tough one today?
Yeah, you know, we were. It's always, I've been at the club 3 years now, and I'm one of the longest serving members at our new club. And I've never won a game here. And if we win today, this will be the first time any of these players on this field have ever won a game for Bradford at Knowsley Road.
Yeah, it's a good point from Robbie Paul. Here's Paul Anderson of the Saints on to Alan Hunt, and Alan Hunt will take them on. But again, the pass just goes to nobody.
Well, all that hard work just gone to waste. Hunt, he threw the dummy, hit top gear. There you could see Lachlan had gone out wide, but not the best effort. It was just a risky pass. Beautiful play there. Nickel couldn't get anywhere near him, but that is not a good pass at all.
Ball went out, of course, that's why the scrum has gone down.
Well, you've got to make tries out of your chances. And that could have lifted their spirits at least anyway.
Tomlinson and Paul Anderson. Bang with Matautia. Oh, you could hear the grunt from here.
I don't know who came up best there, but it certainly shook the ground.
Bradley. Last tackle for the Bulls. This is Lowe's again. Hacks the ball over the top. Sullivan's after it, and the bounce beats them all.
He's everywhere. One for the dummy half. Let's have a kick over the top. Didn't come off for him, apart from the fact that it's deep in the Saints' territory.
He's up to his average match total of runs from dummy half now, 7. Anything will be a bonus then for the Bulls. An awful mess. And the ball went backwards, so it's play on.
Play the advantage, did Cummings.
Here's Cunningham at dummy half. The runner then was O'Neill.
Bradford aren't just tackling, they really are crucifying them. They're getting in, getting the shoulder, one's going low. And another mistake. Back on the inside.
Chris Morley couldn't take the ball in.
You could see Morley was looking at the defender. Well, a big smile on the face there of Dwight.
They're trying to get him on. He's been on and off and on and off. The substitution not yet been made. Now it will be. Oh, and I've got nothing at all against Paul Anderson of Bradford Bulls, but thank goodness for that, because there's a Paul Anderson on the field for St Helens, and there was that Paul Anderson on the field for Bradford Bulls. So now we've only got the one. So when we say Anderson, Steve-O, they know who we mean. Here's Tomlinson. Lovely ball to Loughlin. Out wide it comes to Hodgson. He's cut inside Hunt. Just caught Hunt's boots there as he went down. But the switch from attack to defence by this Bradford side. They're keeping the ball alive again with Lowe's once more. Spruce to McDermott. Right underneath the St Helens posts. McNamara off the ground, under pressure, ball goes forward. That won't be a try, even if Danny Peacock would have grounded it. Referee will bring them back for the knock-on, but they're trying all the tricks in the book now.
Well, he did well there, McNamara, to take that off his toes. It wasn't the best pass from James Lowe's. He lost control of it in the end. Pressure is off Saints for the moment.
Now Anderson. Quite distinctive with the coloured boots. Paul Anderson. Here's Pickavance. Good run. Good tackling back also by Loughlin. Hunt from dummy half. Almost through, but again Dwyer and then Loughlin. Cunningham. He'll scamper away down the short side.
Well, he's kept trying all day, hasn't he, the hooker Kieran Cunningham. A few good runs, but not great support, I'm afraid.
Anderson grounded midway inside the Bradford Bulls half. Long. Oh, that was a wasted kick off the outside of the boot. They are lacking a touch of direction, St Helens, and they'll be glad, I think, Steve-O, to see their captain, one Robert Goulding, back before too long. They hope he'll be fit for the Halifax game next week, and then, of course, for Australia.
They certainly need him on today's performance. But let's not take anything away from the fact that Glenn Tomlinson has shadowed Sean Long in the kicking department. He's put him under pressure all night.
Bradley.
Well, again, they find it difficult to put him down. And rightly so if you keep going high again.
McNamara. Paul Loughlin. Oh no, he's got the penalty because Alan Hunt
he didn't get out
was
of the
just
way.
lying there.
You must roll away after you've done the tackle. And you can see that he left the left arm there.
Yes, Paul Loughlin picked up Alan Hunt's hand rather than the ball.
Well, they're taking a breather. They're going to go for the 2 points. A little wink from the big centre, Paul Loughlin. He's played his part today.
He has. They are an outstanding all-round team, this Bradford Bulls. There isn't a... When Robbie Paul's off the field, there isn't a shining star, is there? But my word, are they consistent.
Well, I don't know about a shining star. There's been
No, you know what I mean? There's not a twinkle toe out there, you know. I know what you mean about James. I think you're going to say James Lowe's, aren't you?
I think you'd rather like to be called Twinkle Toes.
Right, this is McNamara. This is another. Matthew Elliott, who we saw while we were ravaging on there, will know exactly what I'm trying to say, I'm sure. We're on the same wavelength, you see.
Well, he's played it tough, and he likes to get his teams really firing, especially in the defence department. And that has been a real big feature of tonight's game. He'll be very happy with that, the way that they've worked for each other. And that ability to spin in the tackle and keep the ball alive, that's also been an outstanding feature.
Here's Forshaw, and he gets the pass away. Spruce. Support arrives from Tomlinson. Tomlinson dancing his way and then losing it.
That'll be the knock-on. Well, an ironic cheer, and there's someone flattened in the back play. There's the knock-on from Tomlinson. But again, great support play.
It's Stuart Spruce who is absolutely flat out and on his back. He's talking, though, to the physio.
Perhaps a bit of concussion there.
Time off, fellas. Let's see what he's like.
Well, this is keeping the ball alive. Ooh, that looked a bad one. That looked like Vila Matautia went in with the left elbow. And that is the reason why Stuart Spruce is somewhat groggy. And the official has not seen it, and that was a bad one. Off the ball incident, the officials did not see it. Well, we can do without that. It's rough and tough. There you see he's got the ball away, and that was a bad one.
Well, Stuart Cummings mightn't have seen it, but somebody might have done.
Or will.
O'Neill, here's Matautia. Deary me, what a roughhouse he is.
Well, he came charging up there. And Bernard Dwyer just put his body on the line.
Cunningham to Arnold. Wrestled to the ground by McNamara.
Cunningham down in the back play, and it looks as though something's wrong with the arm or the shoulder. He's in a lot of pain, is Kieran Cunningham.
Kick downfield again is too deep. Cunningham, I think he got something about the arm or the shoulder. It looks like there's a problem with the mouth.
Stray boot, perhaps. It's the odd drop of claret coming out. He's a tough customer, though. He's done his work today, Kieran Cunningham. It's a lot more than can be said for a few of his colleagues out there.
Bernard Dwyer plays the ball then to Lowe's, and here now is Bradley. Gets the balls to the halfway line after 3 tackles.
Such an advantage to have a man like that out there. Classed as a three-quarter, runs like a forward, sucks in 3-4 tacklers.
There's a lovely ball from McDermott to Lowe's, and Lowe's is taking him on. He's got Peacock, and Peacock gets in for another try. Lowe's created that one for Danny Peacock. Terrific stuff again from the Bradford hooker. And the support play, magnificent to watch, and Peacock gets the try. He got one at Wembley and ended up on a losing side. Not today, I fancy.
Go, go, Twinkle Toes. Tremendous stuff by the hooker. We said he was having a great game, but again, the Saints defence, too late to go low. 3 attempts to get to him. Good run by the big prop forward McDermott, but look at this. Throws the dummy. Tried to grab him, tried to go high. It was too late. He'd got rid of the ball before they realised they had to go low. Peacock finishes it off, but I can tell you, it's down to that man, James Lowe's, Twinkle Toes.
Lowe's the creator that time. He has scored 2 himself. And I see that I'm going to live to regret saying they haven't got a Twinkle Toes out there. McNamara with this conversion. He slides that one over. 32 points to 8. Bradford on their way to their 16th straight win in 1997. What a match James Lowes is having.
Well, there you see, you're supposed to have one straight line. There's 4, 2's going forward, 2's going back. It's a real mess. Pat a cake, and when Newlove decided to go low, it was too late.
Andy Haig will run the ball back. Stuart Spruce took a bang earlier, as we saw, and Nathan Graham now comes on. Danny Peacock is the man who's filling in at fullback for Stuart Spruce. I don't want to labour this point about Twinkle Toes, but the thing I was trying to get over, I think, was they are an outstanding all-round side, Bradford.
Yes.
Without all the razzmatazz, the glitterati and the Twinkle Toes. They are.
I thought you didn't want to talk about it.
I don't. That's why we've had nice and quiet for the last couple of seconds.
It's no good staring at me.
Long with the kick to the left wing, and it bounces and goes over the sideline.
Well, at least he got it right on that occasion. Put the high ball down to young Andy Hodgson.
Man of the match time, 0891 66 55 25. Vote now for your man of the match. I know who Steve-O would spend his 50 pence on.
Might have a couple of quid on this one. Been a tremendous effort, though. And talking seriously, it has been a tremendous team effort. They have worked hard for each other, including this man, Peacock. They're not frightened to share the work, the Bradford Bulls.
Well, you could have 13, 14, 15, even 17 maybe men of the match from Bradford. It's been that sort of performance from them. It's certainly a championship-winning performance. There's no doubt about it. Look at the way they support each other. This is Nathan Graham. Good tackle, though, by Andy Haig. 4 tackles gone, 69 metres made. The next 20 metres important. McNamara with a beautiful kick through. Bradley! It's oh so easy now for Bradford.
The fans are chanting easy, easy, and it is, but it's also skillful. Steve McNamara has been trying to do this throughout the game. The little kick through, it's a planned move, and the Australian gleefully accepts this. Kept himself onside. There was no one at home. They'd all gone out for lunch. Beautifully weighted kick. Queuing up to score, Callan, he was there too, but Bradley, who's had a fine match, tops it off. Good work on the blind side. See how they were mesmerised, the Saints defence. What's he going to do next? I'll tell you what he does. Creates a try.
Steve McNamara. 2 attacking kicks normally. He has done that times 3 today, and now he's trying to slide over his 5th successful kick. It's on its way, and they've got 2 more points. Their last win here was November 1992. Only their 3rd triumph since 2 division football was reintroduced in 1973.
Well, there you see, that's the only cover. The fullback is way in the middle. Well thought out, tremendous vision. He really has bounced back to his best, Steve McNamara. And so has the Penguin. That's his nickname. And he waddled over quite easy for that one.
38 points to 8. They're taking the champions to the cleaners. Nathan Graham's in the blood bin, so Stuart Spruce's short breather from this helter-skelter of a match comes to an end. Now Paul Anderson. He has his problems. Sean McRae. He's got still plenty of big ammunition out. There's no Perolini, there's no Goulding, for instance. Tommy Martin's gone for the season. They have had their trials and tribulations in '97, St Helens.
Well, they've just been toughed out of it today.
That's a better kick from Long.
Far too long, though.
At least it was in the field of play this time. But right down the throat of Spruce.
Good chase by Sullivan. At least he has not given up the ghost. But look how they'll work for each other.
Nickel. Morley and Joint in the end get to him. Here's Bradley again. Well, he stutters and stands, Graham Bradley, and everybody wonders what he's going to do, but he knows exactly what he's going to do. Here's Calland. Now it's Lowe's again. Dwyer.
This will be the link.
Right on halfway, Lowe's. Oh, Lowe's put the kick in, it went out on the full. He was clattered.
Corbin for his corner there. Now then. Was he committed? Morley went into him. I think Morley committed himself whilst he had the football. Nice pass.
Hunt takes it in one-handed. Lovely ball back on the inside for Arnold. Well, they've still got their class and quality Saints. That's the second try for Danny Arnold. And it was put on a plate for him by Alan Hunt's wonderful reverse pass out of the back of his hand. The sleight of hand of Hunt and the speed and pace of Arnold. Great try from St Helens. They've still got the class when they want to find it, the Saints.
Outstanding play by Sean Long, who set Hunt away. Beautiful pass behind him. Good positioning by the winger Arnold. He read it so well, but it was Sean Long that made the initial pass that sent them through. It was tremendous stuff. What a tremendous try. Well, they have not given up. Look at that. Superb understanding between the centre and the winger. But it was a great pass from Sean Long that sent Pickermans through the gap. He created it. He finished it.
Yes, his 60th appearance, and that's his 12th Super League try of the campaign. And Sean Long converted from in front of the posts. So that's why we have a 14 points to 38 scoreline with just less than 10 minutes to go. Andy Haig is coming off to terrific applause. He's played well at fullback. Andy Haig must have felt like King Canute at times. And on has come Joey Hayes, and it's the first time we've seen Joey Hayes this season on Sky Sports. McDermott and Forshaw being rested, and Rihanna and Warren Jowett coming on. Warren Jowett, who has missed 16 games since breaking an ankle. He missed Wembley, but he's back in Super League now to challenge for a place at the end of the season, and of course to challenge for a place in the World Club Championship, which is not too far down the road. Tomlinson makes the break, supported by Rihanna. Rihanna's taking on Arnold, trying to outmuscle him. Still going, Nickel there in support. He's all wrapped up. But a sweeping attacking move again from the Bradford Bulls to within 2 meters. Peacock, Tomlinson, misses out Bradley, finds McNamara. Out wide it comes to Loughlin. Loughlin back to Hodgson. Hodgson dancing away and eventually cut down by Pickermans. Last tackle now. Lowe's off the knees of Hunt, and he picks up and he loses it.
Oh, he knocked it on. Well, he played the advantage, Stuart Cummings. It's just not going right for the Saints. Lowe's got the kick in, came off the left leg of Hunt. You could see him, he loses possession. But what a great break again. Glenn Tomlinson just ducked under two would-be tacklers, scampered away. He's played his part.
McNamara picks up from the base of the scrum, takes on Joint. Lowe's, Tomlinson, Bradley. Desperate defence from St Helens, but again they are within 3 metres of the line.
Now will Lowe's, oh, he got a kick then, did Bradley?
He did. Lowe's hat-trick! No, hang on, the referee has blown the whistle. He's given the penalty. He gave the penalty to St Helens.
Push the man out of the way.
Bradley was upset with the little kick that he got there.
Well, Bradley lashed out, then he got a little kick, and you can see that Bradley pushed. And that's the reason why the try has not been given and the penalty given to Saints. But they are just cutting this Saints defence to ribbons again.
Here's Matautia. Well, James Lowe's then denied the hat-trick by his captain, Bradley. Here's Newlove. Great run from Newlove.
First real chance we've seen from the big centre.
This is Anderson now. Man of the match, don't forget, 0891 66 55 25. Your votes are invited now for the outstanding player in this match. I rather fancy he might come from the Bradford Bulls. McNamara does really well.
Great effort there from McNamara. He wanted that football. He was determined. Just pushed Long out of the way. They came on a mission, did the Bradford Bulls side. Oh, that's stupidity. Frustration boiling over
Morley and Tomlinson. And Morley with the right hook. Referee will take the report from his touch judge.
Well, he's only a little fella, Glenn Tomlinson.
I'll do what I'm going to do. You keep your mouth shut.
Well, he rode the punch well.
My job to sort it out.
If looks could have killed.
What you shouldn't be doing is throwing a punch. Right? I'll sort it out, okay? Here we go, fellas. Got a penalty over here.
Referee Stuart Cummings telling Chris Morley that he should not be taking the law into his own hands. He, the referee, will sort it out.
Been a difficult game to referee as well. He was very spiteful, especially in the opening 15 minutes.
Well, there's a lot of blood been spilled, hasn't there, between these two. Here's Warren Jowett. You know, Wembley over the past 2 years, some very important league games as well. This is Lowe's. He needs the hat-trick. He wants the hat-trick. He's just hauled back. Hudson, the dummy half. McNamara is going down a closed down alley.
He wants the hat-trick, as you say, but he's getting the ball out wide.
Tomlinson off the chest of Lachlan into the arms of Sean Long.
Fired the bullet pass. Lachlan couldn't hang on to it.
There's Morley.
Eager defence again.
Well, it was Morley who swung the punch, of course. And the referee has seen something. He wants a word with Danny Peacock.
It wasn't accidental. You put the forearm into it. Just leave it out.
And the referee concerned about Peacock leading with the forearm.
And you can see it. He's pushed it across the face there. Of the head then. But it's been outstanding, Eddie, the way that they've moved up quickly as the Bulls' defence. They've really allowed St Helens not a great deal of room to move, forcing them into a very flat three-quarter line and also one-out football for long periods of this game.
They're a fabulous all-round unit, there's no doubt about that. And they are odds-on to be champions as Nathan Graham comes back on for Stuart Spruth, the reversal of the blood bin. They're odds-on to be the second Super League champions, and they will be worthy champions. They'll take the pennant, and they, I'm sure, will enjoy every moment of it later in the season. Don't think there can be too many doubts now, Steve-O, that the Bradford Bulls will be champions at the end of this year.
No.
Mind you, Matautia, what about this for a run? Hayes hacks the ball forward and chases it. He might have got the touchdown.
He didn't, but is it a penalty try?
It is.
Penalty try because Nicol took him out. And Mr. Bradley's not too impressed, but you'll find that it's Nicol who was deemed to interfere with a man going for the football. Joey Hayes it was, and no doubt in the mind of Stuart Cummings, penalty try straight away. Matautier, a great run. It was good stuff. Joey Hayes kicks it forward, and Nicol says, get out of the way. And he is deemed to have just pushed him sufficiently enough to put him off balance. If you run in the same direction, you can use the shoulder, but I think you can see the arm went across, and he launched himself. And Cummings pointed to the spot. Bang.
Well, he has returned from a serious injury this year, Joey Hayes. He went on the tour, of course. He came back and had a knee operation after the Lions tour. He's only just back and fully fit. And Hayes hacked the ball forward, got the penalty try. The conversion was successful.
Oh, that hurt. Paul Loughlin took it. A la Aussie rules style, he leaped higher than anyone and came crashing down on his back.
Right on his backside, actually.
And he's just shaking the body, saying, uh-oh, that was a little bit painful.
Callan now, look at this run from him. Good tackling back by O'Neill.
They're eager for more points.
Well, they've been stung now by that penalty try. Lowe's, they can't put him down. Long eventually does, but it was high, to say the least. Tomlinson, ball back
forward
to Callan.
He just overrun it slightly. It was a nice planned move. Tomlinson back on the inside. He was running the angle, took the defence across. Callan thought he was in, but just a little bit forward. Well spotted, good positioning by Stuart Cummings. Little doubt it was forward.
30 seconds of the match remaining, and Bradford march on at the top of the table. Here's Alan Hunt. Can he finish with a flourish? Can the Saints give their supporters something else to remember? Here's Hayes. Into the last 10 seconds of the game now, and Bradford make it 16 games played and 16 wins. Anderson's kick downfield will be collected by Peacock, will it? Or will again the ball run dead? It runs dead. The final siren. Matthew Elliott's team march on at the top. 16 games played now in Super League 97. 16 successive wins. 17 wins on the trot if you go back to last year. James Lowe's an outstanding match. And Matthew Elliott, well, he won't be saying that the championship is all wrapped up yet. Not until it's mathematically certain. But this is a massive stride forward for the Bradford Bulls. Knowsley Road, not the happiest hunting ground for them, a bogey ground. But they have well and truly laid the bogey here. They have won by 38 points to 20. First double over Saints since 1980. The Bradford Bulls, 1980, they were champions too.
Lennox Lewis.
I'm a man on a mission.
Determined once and for all.
No mistake.
To settle the score.
I am the best heavyweight fighter.
Against the undefeated Henry Akinwande.
That was awesome!
The moment of truth between the British heavyweights, finally face to face.
Akinwande's going down.
Let's get it on!
And the undisputed master.
A true world champion.
Undefeated in 26 fights.
I refuse to lose.
Holder of 2 world titles. Britain's Prince Nassim takes on Argentina's Pastor Morin. Big time boxing starting next Saturday at 9 on Sky Sports 1.
Please.
Play.
In the future, people will think it strange that we only ever use the phone to talk to each other one at a time. They'll use the phone for so much more. And they'll communicate in groups, just like we do in real life, together. The future's bright. The future's orange.
At last, stronger, thicker hair.
And I push it to the limit.
Today we know that hair weakens if it loses ceramides, one of the hair's natural strengtheners. L'Oreal have duplicated ceramide, creating Ceramide R, which penetrates the hair, rebuilding its strength from within, leaving your hair feeling
stronger, thicker,
and easier to manage. L'Oreal Elvive shampoo with Ceramide R. Wash the strength back in.
The forces of nature are unpredictable. To help you be better prepared, Michelin has developed a new tire with a unique asymmetric tread pattern which gives you even better grip on slippery surfaces. New Michelin Energy. Better grip, safer driving.
What here? See the max.
Be the max.
Whoa.
Pepsi Max, full cooler taste, no sugar.
When it comes to killing insects, all you need to know is Raid. Raid kills bugs dead.
For the world's greatest fighters, there is no greater challenge. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Allen with 2, Hodgson, Peacock, Bradley. McNamara kicked 5 goals for them. Now then, the man of the match, and James Lowes. I didn't realise Steve-O spent that much money on phone calls. 73%. Peacock and Bradley next best, others 7%. But James Lowes overwhelmingly is your man of the match, and quite right too. Here he is now, talking to Alistair Mann.
James Lowes, you've been voted the man of the match by our viewers. A mini television and a commemorative video for you. It was quite comfortable in the end. Did you feel as though you were just edging them out as the game wore on?
No, we knew we were in for a very hard game coming here. You always saw. But we had a set plan, and you know, if we played to that, we could beat them, and you know, it come off for us in the end.
Clearly, the way that you and Saints have met over the years, you always like to get one over on them, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. You know, the Bradford Speckers like to get one over on them as well, and it's good to win, especially away. You know, and it's a step closer to his goal.
Are you pleased with your own form? This was a particularly good performance.
Yeah, very pleased, obviously, and just like I've said, it's on the back of some good performances from all the lads as well. You know, when they play well, I seem to play a lot well, and I can't complain.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And the Viewers' Man of the Match competition winner comes from Scarborough, Peter Lindsay. You also win tonight's mini television set. James Lowes then, the man of the match, Twinkle Toes. That's what we've called him during the course of the game. The point, Steve, I was trying to make, and making it so awfully and so labouredly during the commentary, was they're not a team of fancy dans, this. They are a team in the very strict sense of the word, and aren't they playing well?
They're playing as that word, team, and they're working hard for each other, and especially in defence. I mean, they built the foundation of this win today on that defence. They started out very, very early. They got into the swing of things, and quite frankly, St Helens, apart from a few flashes of brilliance, they really were shut out of the game completely. Full credit to them, good coaching, good attitude. They knew what it was in to do, and this man, Lowes, look at that. He really had a fine game, and I think this performance has got him, or should have got him, an international cap. I really do believe that he is now the man who should take over the hooking role for Great Britain. And this was the Bradley try. McNamara, absolutely superbly weighted kick there. Good ideas, they tried everything. Running the angles, not only just their defence, they work as a team, as you can see there. And then, of course, this one, you can see that Nicol deliberately pushes Joey Hayes. Stuart Cummings had no hesitation at all to give the penalty try, and rightly so. A little bit of a consolation. Nice to see Joey Hayes back on the field after a long injury, but they really were outclassed. A great effort by Bradford Bulls today, and I think you can safely say now they'll be the champions.
Well, that's it. Forget the rest of the season, Steve-O says. What's gone wrong at St Helens? This is the home of the champions at the moment, and we make it now 243 points that they've conceded in their last 5 home games. What has happened to them in 1997? Is it just the injuries? Is it the lack of confidence?
No, I think you'll find that quite a few of these players, even though we do classify them as full-time professional, they even want more and more money. And I'm very, very critical of a lot of players with certain clubs who, having signed a contract, they keep knocking on the door and asking for more money. There was a lot of unrest. There was about 5 players who wanted to have their contracts lifted before they went to Wembley. They said here, the officials at the club said that no, let's get Wembley out of the way and then we'll start talking about it. And what happened? They lost a lot of confidence. And I think that when you start having money problems, when players are not happy, then it just rolls and rolls and rolls.
So it's attitude.
It's an attitude problem there, and you could see it out on the field of play. The difference between the two sides, the second marker's just not working. I mean, it's fundamental errors that they were making. Losing the ball, I think it was 36 missed tackles. You cannot go through a game like that with 36 missed tackles.
Well, let's just check the way it all pans out at the end of the round 16, and 32 points from 16 games. It makes pretty pleasing reading for Bradford. Leeds, London, Wigan, the Saints now 5th, and they could be struggling to make it to the top 4. At the bottom, Castleford, Paris, Oldham. Looks like it's between them for the big drop. So that's the end of another weekend of Super League here on Sky Sports, and what a weekend it's been. London's victory, and now we've had the win for Bradford Bulls. We will reflect it all in the World of Super League Wednesday at 6:30 notice, Sky Sports 1. World of Super League 6:30 Wednesday, Sky Sports 1. And then Friday we will return with Castleford Tigers against the Oldham Bears. It's going to be a real struggle at the foot of the table now, and that match really encapsulates it all. Tigers and Bears next Friday at 7, and Sunday at 6:30 we're back on this very spot, wrapping up St Helens against the Halifax Blue Sox, before of course the Saints and Bradford and everybody else head off to Australia for phase 2 of the World Club Championship. From Steve-O and me, thanks for being there. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.